Starwinary, live at Brooklyn, Teddy Atlas Boxing Gym. I'm here with Julian Anthony Sosa, 7-0, 1 draw, 2 knockouts. You have an upcoming fight, April 22nd, against Emmanuel Valdez. Give me your thoughts about that fight.
This fight coming up, I seen a few fights on him already. He's from Mexico, so very typical Mexican style fighter. Comes forward, a lot of angles, looping shots. I feel like I prepared myself well for that. I did a lot of strength conditioning this fight, strength and conditioning. So that's a new thing that we added to my camp. I feel like we're going to be very explosive, very fast, and very, as far as conditioning wise, if it goes all 6, we're going to be ready to go all 6. If it doesn't, then we're going to be ready for that too. But I'm very, very prepared for this fight, and I feel we're going to have a very, very impressive victory.
In your opinion, where do you see this ending? By knockout, or does it go to scorecards? In the fight?
Every time I replay the fight, just how I imagine it in my head, I say either 3rd to 4th round knockout. I see a knockout coming.
How do you feel fighting in the undercard of Sean Porter and Andre Berto?
It's an amazing feeling. Just knowing I'm fighting in Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, just fighting home, you know. No better feeling than that. All my family and friends gonna be there. In the Barclays Center too. That's a big, big arena. I love that this is my 3rd time in this arena, so I'm just humbled that I'm able to perform in this type of caliber again. And all I could do to show that I'm appreciative is perform very well that night.
Who wins that fight? Sean Porter or Andre Berto?
I love both fighters, but if I had to pick, I see Sean Porter winning, probably by decision though. But Sean Porter, I see him winning.
You think the aggression is gonna help him win, or the boxing technique that he has against Andre Berto?
That's the thing too. How it depends on how he comes out. I feel like if Sean Porter comes out like the aggressive fighter that he did with Thurman, it'll be a very, very one-sided fight, and Sean Porter will take it like that. But if Sean Porter tries to get a little more technical, I feel like he does have more technical abilities than Berto. So either way, I feel like Sean will win.
Your last opponent, Gabriel Solario. Tell me about that fight. What do you think about the fight, and how do you rate yourself in that fight? You know, is there any improvements you could have done?
Yeah, that fight's gonna harm me, you know. Just internally, you know. I felt like I was able to do way more than I did that night. What's it called? As far as timing, I don't know what it was that night. I just felt a little bit off, but I saw the tapes and I saw that there was a lot to improve from, and with that we took the things I didn't do that camp and we added it in this camp, and we did it twice as harder. So I just can't wait till April 22nd when that fight night comes. I'm just gonna show everybody what I've learned, and we're just gonna keep progressing from now on.
Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. Who do you got?
I say Errol Spence. I love Errol Spence. I love his style overall, his hunger, his ambition, and just in the ring too, his ring presence, his poiseness. I see Errol Spence winning that fight.
You don't see any. You don't think the fans at the UK are gonna play a role in the fight, like
that too? That might be a little key too, but I feel like Errol Spence, he's in his zone right now. His past fights, he been looking really sharp. I feel like it's his time, so he's gonna get it.
What about Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn in Australia? What are your thoughts about the fight?
I would say Pacquiao would take it. Just because that's a legend right there. You know, he been through many, many fights, many wars, and I feel like this would just be another day in the office for him.
Fighting at the welterweight division, how do you rank them, top 5, in your opinion, if you had to?
Top 5 welterweights overall?
Right now, like currently right now fighting. You know, the Keith Thurmans of the world, Pacquiaos of the world.
Yeah, I would say in no specific order, just in the top of my head, the ones that I always look at, I would have to say Keith, Spence, Pacquiao, Garcia, Danny Garcia, and 5th one I'll place Porter in that one. I'll place Porter.
Out of those 5 names you just mentioned, who do you prefer to fight down the road, if you had to choose?
If I had to choose, I would say Porter.
Porter?
Just because I know he's hungry and he's at that level too, and I feel like I'm hungry too. So that fight will just be who's more hungrier to just stay at the top of the division.
What are your thoughts about Terence Crawford versus Felix Diaz at Madison Square Garden? Who do you got?
I love Crawford too. Crawford's a monster. I love Crawford. That's another one too. If he moves up too, that'll be one in the welterweight division to look after. But I say Crawford. Crawford, he's an animal. Especially after he warms up, there's no stopping him. So I say Crawford.
You know, and in reality, we see Felix Diaz has a one loss, but in a lot of people's mind, he's really undefeated. So you think Felix Diaz could give him problems in the night?
I believe so. Yeah. It all depends how the fights go. You know, I can't say because it is boxing at the end of the day. Anything could happen. I feel like Diaz does have a sure shot in this fight, but I'm just going for Crawford. I'm giving the edge to Crawford this fight.
Diaz has added an important member to his team, Alex Ariza, as his strength and conditioning coach. Do you think he plays a role in the fight?
Of course, especially in the professional ranks. I feel like strength and conditioning, that's a major factor. I'm learning it now for this fight. I feel great. And I feel like Alex, you know, he's such a great strength and conditioning coach. You know, look what he did with all the fighters that he did work with. It should play a major role in the fight.
Danny Jacobs, Triple G. How did you score the fight?
Oh, Danny, I love Danny. I know Danny. We've been training for a long time together. I was praying for him to get that fight too. As far as more active, I would say Danny was. But as far as the clean shots, I had to say I would give it to Triple G. So probably that's what gave Triple G the fight, just because he was hitting the more cleaner shots, but Danny was more active at the end. But at the end of the day, you know, it's professional boxing. It's all about those clean, effective blows. And we did see Danny's head go more back than Triple G's.
We mentioned that, you know, you're Mexican, and talking about Mexicans in Mexico, what are your thoughts about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Saul Canelo Alvarez?
That's gonna be a crazy night, especially just because it's on the Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Yes.
Crazy. I'm gonna be very, very excited for that one. As far as the victor, I say it'll be kind of hard, just because Chavez, he goes, he fights. He's when he's in that ring, he goes to fight. He's not giving up, and I know Canelo. He's no one to push around too, so that's going to be a very competitive fight. As far as the victor, I cannot say for that one. I just have to wait till May 5th.
You think the catch weight impacts Cesar Chavez's performance the night of the fight, or you think that has nothing to do with the way he performs that night?
It shouldn't. If Chavez decides to recuperate the proper way, if he eats whatever the day after the weigh-in, then it's gonna take his toll. But if he recuperates the proper way, I feel like it shouldn't have no effect towards him. De La Hoya
has stated that after this fight with Chavez, Canelo is gonna stay at middleweight, or he's gonna go up to middleweight officially. So if that fight happens between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin, who do you got that one?
That would be a good one too. I'd have to give the edge to Triple G. I can't. Yeah, it kills me to say. You know, I want Canelo to win so bad. I'm a big Canelo fan. They call me the Canelo of the East, but for now, I say Triple G. But you never know. Maybe Canelo does a few new things in this fight coming up that may open up a few eyes, and it may be lopsided. I may change my mind, but for now I say Triple G, just by a slight advantage.
What message would you give to the Mexican fans that haven't heard about you, like outside of New York? What message would you give to them to watch you fight or even search you up?
Just to the Mexican fans, you know, I love my Mexican fans. You know, coming from a Mexican background, I'm proud to be who I am, and I'm not. The way I'm working now, I feel like when the next time you see me, I'm not gonna fight like I used to. You know, I used to fight like inside, like you're a typical Mexican fighter. But now we're working on a few more things, and I'm just trying to show the world a different style. You know, similar to how my father used to fight. My father, he used to be more of a more on his toes type of fighter. Not like your typical Mexican style fighter. But anyways, yeah, just to all the Mexican fans, you know, I hope I get to reach out to every single one of you and make all of you proud. You know, I fight my heart out every time I'm in that ring, and I give it my all in the gym. And I hope within the next year or so you do hear the name Julian Sosa, and hopefully it rings bells in the Mexican crowd.
Final thoughts.
I just want to thank all my fans, you know, family, friends, and just overall people that like what I'm doing. I appreciate every single one of you. I promise we're gonna keep progressing. We're gonna keep going up the ranks, and every time I step in that ring, I promise I'm gonna give you 110%. And also, as far as for those who are interested in following just my overall background, I do have two sources of social media. I have a boxing page, and I also do music on the side. So if you want to follow either or, my boxing page on Instagram, both of them on Instagram, my boxing page is at Sunset's Own, so it's SUNSETSOWN, and my music one is at j.role, so it's at JAY.ROLE. And thank you once again. I promise this is not going to be the last time you hear about me. I'm working hard every single day, and I'm just going to make noise in this boxing industry.
Thank you.